The new ProSupps Hyde. Let me tell you, I worked at GNC when we had Mr. Hyde, Dr. Jekyll. We had their carbs. I loved ProSupps back in the day. I took a ton of it, but they reached out to us to cover their new Hyde. And this is going to be a high stim. I don't want to call it value because then I think of Walmart and I think of crappy formulas. If this product were to make it into Walmart, it would be a good experience for people who want high stim. You're not going to get a 30-gram scoop out of this. You're getting 30 servings. You're getting enough to get a pump, and you're getting a major slap in the face of stimulant. If the goal is to take a powder that improves your workout by giving you energy, focus, pump, and something in there extra to kind of maybe help out with performance, then we've got a good candidate here. Let's talk about the ingredients inside of it. First matrix here is the Power Flow matrix. Now, I'm assuming that's going to mean that it is a combination of both ergogenics as well as some blood flow, right? So creating power and blood flow. First ingredient here is Beta-Alanine. Now, Beta-Alanine is very popular, and to see it up at the top of a formula is not uncommon because it's usually dosed out in multiple grams. We've got 2 grams of it here today. Now, most people are most used to seeing 3.2 grams. It's kind of like the accepted golden dosage, right? And when we talk about Beta-Alanine, we talk about it as a loaded ingredient. You have to take it over time, a certain amount of grams over a certain amount of days to get it saturated in your body. Beta-Alanine is a rate limiting factor in the production of carnosine in your body. We also use histidine. Histidine and Beta-Alanine are used together to create carnosine, which buffers lactic acid. We need to be using Beta-Alanine for some time, however, to get to that point. Now, we've seen as little as 1,200 milligrams used, and it still produced an athletic benefit. So people who are going to discount this just because of this dosage, you should recognize that. There are lower dosages that work. 3.2 grams is not magic in that dosage. It's not like, 3.1 grams and it does not work anymore. However, do understand that it will take longer to reach that saturation because you're using less of it. With all that being said, consider the fact that ProSupps was purchased by a venture capital company, and they're looking to create a product that probably isn't going to get returned too much. It's probably going to be trying to be accepted by the mainstream rather than make something so hardcore that it can't be found in something like a Walmart. And in that case, having a little bit less of that paresthesia, the Beta-Alanine tingles, might be helpful. Now from there, Nitrosigine. This was one of the reasons I actually was pretty interested in making this piece of content, because I knew that some people were going to be bothered about the dosage of Beta-Alanine, but when you follow that up with the dosage of Nitrosigine and you consider the cost of those ingredients, Nitrosigine is not a cheap ingredient, and they put it at a full dosage. I have to give them some props here, because most often I would see that Beta-Alanine would be at that miracle 3.2 gram dosage, but they throw in like 750 milligrams of Nitrosigine. It's a very popular mainstream thing to do, and it's a huge and I'm hugely disappointed when I see that, because I'm a big fan of Nitrosigine, and I think that the overall benefits of using Nitrosigine at 1500 milligrams outweigh, the label dressing of 3.2 grams of Beta-Alanine. You're going to see cognitive flexibility, meaning that you're going to be able to switch between tasks very well. It's an awesome nootropic and will keep you on your game in the gym. You're going to see perceived energy benefits from using it. Users in studies reported that even though there's no stimulant in Nitrosigine, when they were using it, they felt more energy from it. And most, obviously, as it is a pump ingredient, you're going to see blood flow. Now, everyone who trains heavy or trains, to improve their body loves that pump. Arnold talked about it. We all know about it. Nitrosigine is effectively similar to 6 grams of pure citrulline. And that's a really interesting call out here. No citrulline in Hyde. Now that keeps the scoop low. It probably keeps adverse reactions away because there's not as much powder that could mess up some people's stomachs. And that's not the only blood flow ingredient in here. They also gave us 150 milligrams of the new CellFlow 6. Now, if you guys remember, we used to talk about Vaso 6 in the past. Matt Nickerson and his team have evolved into CellFlow 6. Now, I don't have a C of A for the constituents within it, but the idea that we were pitched about it was that they took all the great benefits of Vaso 6 and added in some other possible constituents within it, creating CellFlow 6 a more powerful ingredient. Now, we only have 150 milligrams of it in here, which makes sense because CellFlow 6 is even more expensive. When it comes to expensive premium ingredients, CellFlow 6 is definitely among them. The CellFlow 6, Mike likes to call a Swiss Army knife of metabolic health. It's made from 6 different green tea leaf extracts, cells. And of course, that's going to take us down the route of vasodilation in different pathways than nitrosigine. You're going to see a bunch of different blood flow benefits here because we're not using the same pathways. This is a mistake made by many contemporary formulators, I should say, is hammering similar pathways constantly instead of diversifying your efforts and your money and finding pathways that work together well. Now, we don't have a lot of studies on Cellflow 6 yet. I am expecting some more of those this year, and I'm really excited about that. But what I should say is that a ton of research has been done on the antioxidant polyphenol compounds within Cellflow 6, and we can kind of look at that as to see what should we be looking for from Cellflow 6. Well, some of these constituents have been shown to boost muscle protein synthesis, glucose uptake in muscle cells, which is really helpful for using the energy that you're consuming for training instead of just converting it to fat. Epicatechin, which is commonly found in green tea extracts, which I'm pretty sure is going to be in Cellflow 6, has a lot of other benefits, possibly some muscle boosting benefits, but definitely some nitric oxide benefits. A lot of green tea extracts in studies have been found to accelerate fat burning, improve circulation, improve insulin sensitivity, lower blood pressure, and improve overall sense of well-being. Cellflow 6 can target a lot of different great things, blood flow just being one of them. Now, if you are active online with sports supplements, you may be aware that a lot of people online talk about life starts at 600 milligrams. This, I should say, is only at 150 milligrams, which is not going to be those high dosages that a lot of online users are using. But I do think there still is merit to using this amount because it's a very interesting ingredient that has a lot of different pathways, and definitely you'll feel that without being over encumbered by blood flow. One downside I find to high doses of Cellflow 6 is that I get too much blood flow and I can't complete workouts, especially when it's paired with nitrosigine. It's not something that I'd be very interested in using for a workout because I don't want to get 3 exercises into biceps, not be able to contract my biceps. And lastly, in the blood flow matrix, which isn't necessarily helpful for specifically power or blood flow, is AstraGin, but it's still a very welcome ingredient. 50 milligrams of AstraGin, super excited to see a full 50 milligrams. Sometimes you only see 25. Given that this is a value pre and you're going to use 1 scoop 30 times, you don't really need to double scoop this product. They went with the full dosages on these kinds of ingredients so that you don't have to take any extra. AstraGin will help out with absorption of a lot of the ingredients inside here. In fact, it hasn't been specifically studied with nitrosigine, but it has been studied with things like Arginine, which nitrosigine is a stabilized version of. So I'm excited to see if that has an effect there. AstraGin lowers gut inflammation, which is really important, especially if you're trying to absorb things like this. So it's a really helpful ingredient. Not really important for blood flow or power, but maybe important to absorb the ingredients that will drive those things. Now, as we go into neurostim matrix, this is going to be where you get slapped in the face. 2 of these here are stimulants. One of them I'm not sure is why it's in the neurostim matrix, but I do love the ingredient. 375 milligrams of caffeine anhydrous. Like I said, you're going to want to use 1 scoop of this. I would not recommend 2 scooping this for most people. I do love high doses of caffeine, but it's probably not going to be in most people's best interest. Caffeine is really well noted for increasing energy, increasing focus, increasing fat burning. It's an awesome ingredient to take pre-workout. In big doses, it can really throw on those blinders and get you in the gym, just getting after it. I think it's an awesome ingredient. At this dosage here, most people might start with a half a scoop, which is fine. But to get the benefits of all those other things like the nitrosigine, I'd recommend you take the full scoop and hang on for the ride. Now, from there, we hit Senactiv. Senactiv has nothing to do with neuro or stimulants, but it is a really awesome ingredient. I just finished filming a whole video where I talked about it for seemingly forever. So Senactiv is a senolytic. It's going to help you get rid of old ingredients and bring in new ones. This is really important for a lot of processes, especially like adding on new muscle. As we're breaking down old muscle cells, we get rid of them and we bring in new ones. Senactiv doesn't stop there though. Senactiv lowers inflammation markers. Senactiv helps with performance over time. Senactiv is an awesome ingredient. I like to take as much of it as possible, and I say this in a lot of videos. Ironically, 2 back-to-back videos, I say that in a bunch of your stacks, you're probably going to see overlap with Senactiv, and that's totally fine. I took 200 milligrams a day for most of the end of my powerlifting career, and I absolutely attribute a lot of my success, or my able to keep surviving under heavy loads, to Senactiv. And lastly, we're going to talk about Yohimbe. Now, Yohimbe is a polarizing ingredient, and definitely the dosages we have here, this is going to look a little bit different than you're normally used to seeing it at. It's going to be 25 milligrams of Yohimbe supplying or yielding 2 milligrams of Yohimbine. Now, if 375 milligrams was not enough to wake you up, caffeine, 2 milligrams of Yohimbines definitely will. Yohimbe is something that I could sit here and try to explain to you, and I don't think you'd ever have the experience of what it really is going to feel like until you take it itself. It's an incredible stimulant. It's one of my favorites. It gives me a just raging sense of urgency in my workouts to get things done. It gives me some aggression. It gets my heart pumping. It's an awesome ingredient. Some people may find that it is a little bit much. Now, that being said, this is not alpha-yohimbine from rauwolfia. That is an ingredient that most people, when they're thinking of Yohimbe recently, had a lot of that. ProSupps is going back to the classics with this Yohimbe extract, and I actually think it's a pretty great thing. It's a naturally occurring bark extract that they're pulling and using that. It is very natural feeling. It's more robust. If you get the synthetic versions like Yohimbine HCl, I don't like them as much. I really do prefer this version. This more old school version is going to be more handleable. It's really effective. I'm telling you guys, if you pick this up, it is an awesome pre-workout ingredient that will help get you super into the gym. Mike does not like alpha-yohimbine. He will only take this Yohimbine, so he actually was really excited to see it in this product, especially because it's more of a truncated formula like I've been talking about. There's less stuff going on here. There's less of a chance for it to mess up your stomach, which a lot of people do have considerations for. So in total, it's actually only 7.6 grams, which in today's arms race of like making these crazy pre-workouts, it doesn't sound like very much. And have enough stimulant to get through your workout, 100%. Between the caffeine and the Yohimbe, it's going to be intense. And then for pump, you've got 1.5 grams of Nitrosigine, which is going to definitely deliver a great pump. And 150 milligrams of Sulfo-6 is definitely going to help out. For performance, the Beta-Alanine and the Senactiv will definitely take care of that while not needing too much. And AstraGin is going to make sure that you absorb all of it. But if you're looking for something that will effectively improve your workout by giving you more energy, giving you more pump and power with it, this is an awesome option for people who don't want to take 30 grams of powder. I find myself reaching for more simplified formulas recently, and I could definitely see myself using this kind of frequently. I would just need to gauge how often I take the Yohimbine. But other than that, I think this is a very interesting product. It's going to definitely satisfy a lot of people out there. Do expect to see some comments here making fun of this product for not being super loaded, but I do think that is a drawback of the over-education of consumers right now and the over-reliance on huge scoops rather than looking at things that will simply act on the pathways that we need to improve workouts. As a reminder, more is not always better with pre-workouts. A lot of people do think that right now, and I think that is a huge miss, and I'm hoping that over the next year we can help turn the tides on that, and maybe if you want to go check out this pre-workout, it might show that for you. With all that said, I do have to say I did get this product for free. I don't have any affiliation with ProSupps personally. We might do some behind the scenes monitoring of their site, or we might have a coupon somewhere for them, but officially they didn't pay us for this video. I should say we do have affiliate relationships with some of the ingredient companies in this product. But all that being said, I really just wanted to make a video for this product because I expect to see it in some big stores over the next year, and I expect that a lot of people are going to be Googling looking for help understanding it a little bit better. So hopefully this helps you understand it and make a better, more informed decision on your buying process. As always, guys, thanks so much for watching, and have a great day.